Alright guys, what's up? Big D Wiz, oldschoolstereo.com. Today we're going to talk about the Rockford Fosgate Punch 150. The different generations you see here. We have a first generation, a little banged up, a little rusty. We have a third generation. We didn't have the second one because really the only difference is it wasn't HD. The heat sink and everything was the same size. And then we have the Mac Daddy 25 to Life Anniversary Edition, 25-year Anniversary Edition. You can see the difference in size. Massive amplifier there. But what we're going to do today is we're going to test this one. We're going to talk a little bit about the differences between the three. And we're going to try it on the dyno, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so the big deal with these early punch amplifiers was the equalization circuitry. We had the plus 18 dB up to plus 18 dB variable at 45 Hertz and the up to plus 12 dB also for the treble frequency. You can see these had silk screen on the bottom. Notice the difference in the Rockford Fosgate logo. We call that the Dracula Rockford Fosgate logo because it looks like it has teeth. Anyway, very cool design. You can see the amp, it looks like it's designed to be mounted upside down. Not sure why, because you would really want the fins to be either upright or you'd want them to be this way in order to get the heat off of them. But anyway, it's very basic. You can see it's got the 12 gauge like Romex style home wiring coming off the end, solid copper for power and ground. And then this one's missing the little Molex plug, but normally it had the wires coming off for speaker leads and turn on and go into a Molex plug, and then you'd plug that in to hook into your speakers in the remote. Anyway, these are just very basic. This is from the mid to late 80s is when this model was available. And I won't say that it put Rockford Fosgate on the map, but it's definitely one that that kind of catapulted them in the lead in car audio as far as manufacturing goes. And you can see here, a really unique thing about these is they actually had the serial number inscribed, just scraped in to the back. That's very old school. And it's rated 75 watts per channel at 4 ohms with less than 0.05% THD, or 90 watts in the 2 ohms, or 180 watts bridged. And that's actually the same rating for all 3 amps. So here's the Punch 150 HD. You can see it's a little bit larger of an amp, and in my opinion it's one of the better looking Rockford amps. I really like the design of this. You can see they still did inverted graphics here on the bottom. You can see the bass. This one has the bass and treble knobs. There's the gain, input, and the other gain for the other channel, and the power LED. Punch 150 HD. This is a sticker across the top. You just had little spade connections there for your ground and your power lead, and that's it. And then the bottom just had some more silk screening, and this time you had the serial number actually had a sticker for it. It tells you about the amp. Again, same ratings. Needs a 25 amp fuse. Tells you where all the connections go. And this did need a Molex connection for the speaker and the turn on. It's right there. Those are still available today if you still need them. And here's the big dog. This one is from the year 2005, which was the 25th year anniversary of Rockford Fosgate. Rockford Corporation and Fosgate joined in 1980. So this amp came out in 2005. Actually had a whole line of 25 to Life series, the 45, 75, 150, and the Power 1000 as well. But anyway, you can see a very clean design here. There's not any visible connections on the outside of the amp because there is a plate here that goes across the bottom. So let me take out these 2 Allen screws and I'll show you the connections. Alright, here you can see the connections on the amp. It's actually got 8 gauge connections for the speakers, and it even has a remote bass connection, gain, built-in crossover, low pass, all pass, or high pass. All pass will be full range. You have inputs and outputs for RCAs. And then for your power and ground connection, you have your remote, 4 gauge ground, 4 gauge power, and 3 40 amp fuses. So that's 120 amps worth of fusing. And again, the funny thing is this amp is rated the same as the other two. And just as a size comparison here, let me show you. It's kind of funny. Little, big. So this one's rated 75 by 2 at 4 ohms, 90 by 2 at 2 ohms, or 180 by 1 at 4 ohms. So you've already seen this one before on the bench when I tested it against the Orion 275 SX. If you haven't, checked the video description and you can see how much power this joker puts out. But let's try this one on the dyno and see what it does. Alright, for this Rockford Fosgate Punch 150 25 to life, let's start off with a certified run at 8 ohms. Amp is rated to do 150 watts at 8 ohms. Okay, a little bit more than it's rated, 589. That's almost 300 watts per channel at 4 ohms, friends, at 14 volts. And we pulled 74.3 amps. And we're going to try a certified test at 4 ohms mono, 40 hertz. $912 watts, 14.34 volts, 131.9 amps. Alright, now let's try a dynamic run at 4 ohms mono. Again, we're using the 40 hertz track. $1185, 14.5 volts. Alright, now we're going to try a 2 ohm mono dynamic run. Let's punch 150 25 to life. This is a 40 hertz track. This amp is not rated to handle 2 ohm mono or 1 ohm stereo loads, but we'll try it on the dyno. Let's see what it does. $1,841 watts, 2 ohms, 13.85 volts. Alright guys, here you can see the results of the Rockford Fosgate Punch 150 25 to life. It's kind of funny, the ratings. I mean, they rated 180 watts at 4 ohms mono like the old Punch 150s, which even back then were still double that. But we got 912 watts at 4 ohms certified at 14.3 volts, up to 1185 dynamically. And again, we used the 40 hertz tone for all these tests. The 40 hertz tone is much tougher than the 1 kilohertz tone, so the amp would have done more power 1 kilohertz. You might have seen my 2 ohm mono dynamic test that I posted before at 1 kilohertz, and actually did, I think, right around 2,000 watts. So anyway, this is a more realistic test for this amp for bass and everything. Alright guys, there you have it, the test of the Rockford Fosgate Punch 150 25 to life. It's a quick dyno run here. Hope you guys enjoyed the test. Please click the like button below, share the video, all that good stuff. Subscribe to my channel. Always new fun stuff coming. Amp test, a lot of other things. It's Big D Wiz. OldSchoolStereo.com. Until next time, I'm out of here. Thanks to Stinger Electronics for providing the accessories that power the OSS Labs. Find out more, StingerElectronics.com.